It's Kate here from VALERE, and today I'm going to take you through the exercises that we've included in one of our key strength training sessions for our triathlon specific strength training program. This program was expertly designed to help all triathletes, particularly those training for a half iron distance or an iron distance race, help minimise the risk of injury and also to help improve performance. This session in particular is one that we call Triathlon Strong, so it's there to help you improve your overall strength, to help you improve that fatigue resistance at the back end of races, and like I said, help your body build up its resilience to minimise those injuries. The full program is of course available on the VALERE Strength Training app, or also you can download it in a PDF format as well. But let's go through these exercises. So exercise number 1 is a kneeling single arm lat pull down. The theme of a lot of these exercises are that they are unilateral, meaning that they're working one arm or one leg at a time for a couple of reasons. First of all, when we're swimming in particular, obviously we're doing it single arm each stroke, but also when we do unilateral exercises, research does show us that is one of the best ways that we can help improve our core strength, which is why I've put this one in. So because we're also in that kneeling position, we are getting a little bit of lower limb strengthening as well, so you can see that we're targeting swim, bike and run performance all with this one movement. We're setting that cable machine up. If you don't have a cable machine, you can of course tie a band up somewhere instead if you have more access to that, but you're going to tie that up nice and high and you're going to hold onto the cable machine handle or onto your band, and you're coming into a nice powerful strong lat pull down, of course targeting those lats as well as targeting upper body strength and core and a bit of lower limb like I touched on. So it's a really good exercise for developing all of those aspects. The next exercise is a glute kickback. This is one of my favourite exercises for being both run specific and cycle specific, because not only does it work on the glute and hamstring strength of the leg that is kicking back, but we'll work on stabilising the leg that is standing still, and that's important to remember when you are doing this. So with this one in particular, with your standing leg, you want to make sure that as your other leg is kicking back, your knee of the standing leg is not falling in towards the midline. That will really target that gluteal strength through that area to help minimise your pelvic hip drop on the back end of that long marathon run or half marathon run at the back end of your Ironman or half iron distance race. Then with the leg kicking back, not only are you working on glute and hamstring strength, but you're also working on power of that movement as well, and increasing that rate of force development, so how quickly they can contract, and we know that can help improve cycle and run performance. Then our last exercise for activations is our good old banded crab walks. You'll see these a lot in our programs, but it's because they are so good, and you can always progress these just by getting a thicker band. So they are going to stick around a lot in these VALERE strength training programs, but these are perfect for triathletes. So with these ones, we're going to pop that band around your feet. Remember to pop it around your feet so you really work on that hip strength through there rather than putting it around your ankles or your knees. Make sure it's around the feet, and you're going to take a nice powerful step out into the band and then lift up and slowly control your trailing leg. Again, those little cues, those little things that we do differently, we emphasize here at VALERE, are the things that make a big difference when it comes to getting the most out of your strength training. So they are your crab walks, fantastic for that hip stabilizing, that glute strength, but because you're in a semi-squat position and because they're single legs, so you're going one leg at a time, you will get lots of core, lots of glutes, quads and hamstrings as well. So they are your 3 activation exercises. I should have pointed out at the start as well that this is a novice strength training program, by the way. These are still really helpful for intermediate or advanced level ones, but this particular session that I'm taking you through is a novice one. That's what's important for me to mention, because these main set exercises that we are going to go on to are designed to help you improve your maximum strength, but in a relatively safe way that doesn't require a huge amount of technique. Often I find that when I work with triathletes and runners who are new to incorporating strength training, or who know that strength training is really good for them but they're not sure where to start, starting with good fundamental movements like the 2 I'm about to take you through are a really good place to start, because you can almost take your brain away from having to think quite so much about technique, focus on developing your maximum strength, and then you can go into more complex movements later once you've had that nice fundamental strength build up. So exercise number 1 is a single leg seated calf raise. Now what you see in the video here is one that I have set up in a Smith machine, and that's because sometimes at the gym you don't actually have a seated calf raise machine. Now if you do, please use that, but this video in particular is set up in a Smith machine. So I've popped a step on to make sure I can do a deficit, and I've put the Smith machine barbell over my knees. We're going to do these single leg because of course we run and we ride single leg, so we want to replicate that in our strength training here. And with these ones, the reason we've got you doing seated ones here is so the knee is bent so we can work on the soleus. We know that calves actually take 6 to 8 times our body weight with every single step that we take when we run, so they have to be really strong. And our calves and Achilles return 90% of the mechanical energy during every single step when we run. So again, we really need strong calves and Achilles to help us perform at our best, which is why we are going to load this up nice and heavy. So you're going to pop your foot on the step, you're aiming for a nice powerful drive up, so we're working on the speed so that can help our performance, particularly on the run, and then a nice slow control down so we can work on improving the calf strength and the tendon stiffness. Obviously, I've talked a lot about why that's important for running, but when we're riding and we're generating that power through our glutes and our quads and our hamstrings, the bigger, nice, strong global muscles, we need our calves and Achilles to be nice and strong and stiff and improve that muscular tendon stiffness so that power can then transfer really nicely into the pedal so we can be really efficient in our cycling as well. Next up, we have our single leg press. Of course, single leg again because it's a unilateral exercise which replicates the demands of our sport, and we've picked the single leg press particularly for this novice program because, like I said, you can focus on going nice and heavy with this one to get those maximum strength benefits without having to worry too much about technique. The benefit of this is obviously that your back is supported, so you're not worried about overloading through your back. Obviously there's downsides to that where you're not getting any core activation, but for the purpose of this one, it's just to really work on lowering strength to help improve your bike and your run performance in particular. With this one, a couple of things to think about is just your foot position on the platform. You don't want your foot too high because that will bias your hamstrings too much. You don't want it too low because that will end up overloading your quads. Just nice and in the middle of the platform. Obviously that depends on the size of your platform. Here my foot's a little bit lower because of the way that the leg press is, but you'll get a gauge when you start to do these where your foot position should be. And you also want to think about distributing your weight when you're pushing off into that leg press nice and even through your whole foot. So what I mean by that is you're not digging all the way through your heels and you're not also pushing through your toes where your heels are coming off the platform. Your whole foot should be in contact with the platform the whole time. To get the most out of this movement, we want to work on eccentric strength, so you want to lower that in for 3 seconds and then nice and fast and powerful big drive out through your whole foot through there. That will really help you improve that strength through your glutes, your quadriceps and your hamstrings, and because we're doing a single leg, you get a nice bit of hip adductor, so the inside of your leg, and your abductor as well. So altogether, that is going to make up your novice triathlon strong strength session, which you will find in our VALERE strength training programs. If you would like the whole program, which has a few different sessions that obviously focus on different aspects of performance, so there's triathlon mobility, triathlon injury prevention, triathlon strong, and then all-rounder sessions, so together we focus on all aspects of performance, then please jump on our VALERE strength training app. There's a free 2-week trial, and in that app we also calculate the weights for you based off your feedback. And there's also a fatigue scale that modifies the weights for you based on if you're feeling tired from your swim, bike and your run training or anything else that you have on in life as well. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and you found it informative. Good luck on your strength training journey, and we're looking forward to hopefully you joining Team VALERE.